Okay, so you guys are live. I'm gonna try not to make this emotional. We were supposed to come back with the 3 dogs. We came back with not a 1. All 3 were supposed to be fixed today. Anyway, all 3 were supposed to be fixed today. You know, they're playing games because the director's texting me all weekend, texting me, okay, from her personal number, emailing me, confirming everything. I've done like every single last detail that I needed to cover. Had like the most upstanding, amazing rescues that were working with us. You know, we had like beautiful homes established for these dogs, ranches, tons of space to run free, people that were very experienced with this particular breed, and shocking. So anyway, came this far for this to not. So basically, this woman, Mary Fiore, she's pulling under a couple different rescues names. So she got fired from Rock and Rescue. I'm not afraid to say her name just because she bullies people and threatens them, and she's got this guy Kyle that is her sidekick that's literally threatening me. I have screenshots of everything, and I gotta send them to somebody actually. Anyway, they want to get their hands on these dogs. They want to get their grubby hands on the dogs because they see value in the dogs. I'm not sure what's going on. It says that I have, anyway, doesn't matter. Because they've gotten a lot of attention, so she's trying to reinvent herself after being fired from Rock and Rescue, after embezzling funds, embezzling money from their 501c3 and establishing it, and funneling it into her own personal account. So that's what happened. It's a fact. Call Rock and Rescue. Ask Scotty, ask Fabian. She did a lot of damage to the good rescue. She was working there for 6 years, so you gotta wonder how much cash she got out of there. So for anyone that knows her, she was like really downright nasty to people. I mean, I brought people in there and they said they'd never show up there again. So it really was hurtful to me because these were really good people that wanted to advocate for Bosco, but the place was so toxic that they wanted nothing to do with it because of Barry. So Barry did some damage to them, which was unfortunate. So I don't know if anyone noticed in the last couple months before Barry left, her attitude was a little bit different. A lot of people thought she changed her meds. And I don't know. I mean, all I cared about was Bosco because he was still there. And I needed to, you know. So I just pulled up my big girl pants and just dealt with it, you know. And she was really downright nasty. I mean, really alarmingly nasty. But anyway, so things got a little bit better. The second time Bosco was returned, so he came back to Rock and Rescue. So Fabi was out of town, so I contacted Barry. And anyway, so she had been fired already. So I don't know if you guys noticed, so she went down under. You know, silent, dead silence. You didn't hear anything from her. She was under her rock for like all of July, August, September. Ooh, God, almost 4 months. 4 months, okay? She kind of started surfacing just before Bosco got finally adopted, like, you know, went to the ranch. He's a ranch boy now. So this is the thing. She saw that Bosco had like a huge following. Just he had gotten a lot of attention. Everybody was sharing him. He was like known by everybody. You know, I was trying to get him a home. So that was what it was. But so she thought that, hey, she needs to reinvent herself. She's going to use that. So she was trying to pull Bosco herself, which I told Rock and Rescue the other day. They were like, how could she have done that? I'm like, oh yeah, because she's devious. So she was going to get somebody to go in under like a fake name and pull him. So she just wanted her hands on him. So I'm like, oh my God, so grateful that Rock and Rescue is very, you know, particular about making sure all their P's and Q's are, you know, before a dog goes out. So thank God for that, because that probably saved his life. What I found out about what Barry's doing is she is packing up small cars with like 10 plus medium-sized dogs, you know, putting them in reckless situations, endangering their lives. And so she got charged with animal abuse for this. She was taking them over state lines and selling them, whatever. She was making a lot of money on dogs also that were unaltered, and I'm told, which I found out the other day, that she was breeding them. So, God, I mean, for people that are animal advocates, and supposed to be in this business, like, you are up in arms over breeding. That's not, we don't support breeding. My God, there are dogs that die in shelters every single year. Like, I mean, every single day is what I mean. You know, so anyway, that, and she's not a vegan, so somebody just pointed that out to me. So she's doing some really scary things, and there's a pretty laundry list of pretty alarming things that the guy she's working with has done, and he's a big bully. So apparently they kind of were like in the middle of all this, like playing both sides and meddling on both sides. So she was like, she kind of jumped into this whole thing with these Russian dogs, like at some point, because she saw like, oh my God, there was so much conversation over them, so much attention, and she thought that she could get in and be influential. I think what she was saying, because I got the text messages from her, is that she they'll listen to her. She'll you know, so she kind of jumped in like kind of quietly at first, and then like really loudmouthed and just wanted to show her support of us. And so I'm getting all these messages like, I love you, you're the best, and are you okay, and everybody loves you, Heather, we're behind you, and all this nonsense, which just doesn't sound like Barry, right? But I thought, okay, well, whatever, you know, maybe I misunderstood her, you know. So basically everything was done with these animals. Everything was ready, did all the hard work. Where the hell was she at any point in time when we needed actually somebody to help us? I didn't, you know, really need to ask, but the thing is, she could have, and she didn't. And you know, so it's like you come in at the 11th hour, 7th inning stretch, and you take credit for everything, and you see an opportunity. So she sees an opportunity, she has an agenda, and not okay with it. I don't know why there's nobody on here, so I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll share this when I want to later. So I told her we didn't need her, because she like envisioned this whole thing, how she was going to recreate herself basically. And I said, oh, we're good, but thank you. And so she flipped out. I recorded that call, because there's been just too much with this and her. And so she put Kyle on the phone. They started threatening me and tag teaming me and bullying me. And I was like, look, you haven't been a part of this. You're not a part of this, but thank you so much for your concern and your interest, but we're good. I'm working with Marley's Mutts. So guess what she did? She called Marley's Mutts and she started like giving them shit, giving them a hard time. You know, they don't want drama. Nobody wants drama. My God. And so she was supposed to just concede basically, and the shelter was waiting for her to just say, hey, I'm not taking them, you know, let Heather care. Because so I basically had told her, we're going in a different direction, we don't really need you. And I was trying to be polite about it, but she's not a part of this. She didn't do anything. We just don't want her to have these dogs because she has an agenda. So that was the bottom line. So the choice was Marley Mutts over anything to do with Barry, which was what the shelter felt. And so something happened in the interim at some point, like days later, but basically she made this into like this whole drama thing. Started threatening me, started making these posts up. This guy Kyle's like spun completely out of control. I mean, it's really like, wow, disturbing. I'm just ignoring all that because it's like they can sit there and create drama, and they can sorry, I just had to slam on my brakes. They can oh boy, you know, they can sit behind their computer and engage in all this, and yet they're not saving lives. They're not doing any of the things that we would do, like an animal advocacy. So they're not doing anything to help any of the community with the fires. Not a thing. And I had said to her, I'm like, Barry, just go save some pit bulls. Go help. The shelters need help. Like, go help with the Malibu fires. Like, what are you doing? Like, go do something. Like, you know, find a hobby. So anyway, she's just dug her fangs in even more so. So she refuses to back off. And I just basically said, so great, we're done. Because she started threatening me and sending a bunch of nasty messages beyond that. And I responded a couple times, and then I just backed off. And so she's painting this whole narrative. She wants it to appear like something completely different. But that's what a psychopath does. And so I just stopped communicating with her because there's no talking to crazy. You know, there's just no talking to crazy. So anyway, I didn't delete her from my friend list yet. Now she's blocked. But, so she just refuses. The shelter director was waiting to hear from her. You know, like they were transferring everything. Like everything was, but anyway, so she disrupted this. She obstructed it. She, you know, has her own agenda, and they refuse to stop. Marley's Mutts is amazing. I mean, the guy is just such a concerned citizen for animals. He's contacting me en route on his plane, on his way to his anniversary with his wife, and you know, God, I mean, I felt so bad, but it, like, you know, he just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And I really thought, like, I was devastated a few days ago, and then I really thought, like, okay, today, like, everything was worked out. I thought, you know, this rescue, the wonderful rescue that I worked with today, that everything, we were going in and getting these dogs. So there's Bosco's old home. I'm passing it. You know, I used to drive by late at night when they used to keep him outside of the front. I'd be like, Bosco. I would go and talk to him. Now I think these 3 Russian dogs are my Bosco, because I sit there and talk to them, and it breaks my heart. It really does. So don't know what to do now. I really don't. I mean, I talked to some really great friends that are by old Bosco's home, by Lila. Lila's there still. We gotta get her out. I really just don't know what to do. I mean, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm up at 3, 4 o'clock every day. Today I slept late. I slept till 4:15. Tomorrow I'm up at 3. Tomorrow's a long day because I have all the stuff with Malibu and the police station and everything going on. I did something wrong because this is not doing anything, but it doesn't matter because I'm just going to save this. So, you know, you guys know where my heart is. It's transparent. I wear it on my sleeve. So, now what? Now what do we do? Who would align themselves with Barry? Why would Jasmine Gabay, is it? Why would she let Barry pull under her name? Why would somebody align themselves with an animal abuser? She's an animal abuser. I mean, she's been charged with animal abuse. Her license was revoked because of this. I mean, that in itself. So, where we're at now is we need to get those 3 dogs away from her. She can't get them. You know, I don't care if those dogs get held up and sit in that shelter. I mean, it's not the best situation, but it's better than them being in the hands of an individual that will only harm them, and either they can lose their lives or somebody else can lose their life. and she's not